Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin lovers, to Rare Coin Secrets USA. Today, I'm about to take you on a journey through hidden treasures that might just be resting in your pockets, your old drawers, or your family's forgotten coin jars. These aren't just coins. They are treasures that carry history, mystery, and unimaginable value in today's booming auction markets. Stay with me till the end of this video because what I'm going to reveal is not just exciting, it's life-changing. We're diving deep into 6 ultra-rare, jaw-dropping Lincoln wheat pennies and other hidden gems that have turned ordinary collectors into treasure owners overnight. And trust me, these are not just coins you'll admire, these are coins that could change your life. Coins that make you realize you're holding a fortune disguised as a penny. Let's begin with the first shining star of today's hunt. A coin that might seem simple at first glance, but carries secrets of rarity, beauty, and a value so extraordinary it leaves collectors breathless. First coin number 1. Now, let's step back in time to 1956. America was in the midst of great change. The post-war boom had reshaped the nation. Elvis Presley was shaking up music charts, and the Lincoln wheat penny was quietly being struck at the U.S. Mint. Among those pennies, one stands apart. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. At first, you may think, what could possibly be special about a penny from the 50s? But here's where the story turns into something extraordinary. This coin was struck in copper, carrying the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials you may spot if you look carefully beneath Lincoln's shoulder. On the reverse side, the 2 elegant wheat stalks stand tall, framing the words 1 cent. A design that symbolizes growth, prosperity, and resilience. It's a design cherished by collectors worldwide as the Wheat Penny series ended in 1958, making these final years incredibly nostalgic and historically significant. Now, the 1956 Wheat Penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions were made, the survival of pristine or fine-condition pieces, especially those with unique toning like subtle gray spotting, has become extremely rare today. And rarity, my friends, is the heartbeat of value in the coin world. This coin's uniqueness isn't just about age, it's about survival. Imagine how many of these were spent, worn down, lost to time. Yet here we are, staring at a survivor, preserved with character, holding beauty in its gray-toned surfaces, giving it a personality no other coin can mimic. Collectors are not only chasing the history here, but also the mystery, the intrigue of owning a coin that survived generations, passed through hands during times of America's economic rise, and still stands strong today. And the demand? It's higher than ever. Auction houses report that these rare-condition 1956 wheat pennies without mint marks are sparking bidding wars that leave everyone in shock. And when I say bidding wars, I mean serious numbers. Today, this rare beauty carries a market value of $136,000. Yes, you heard that right. $136,000. This is not pocket change. This is not just an old coin. This is a treasure chest compressed into copper. Imagine holding that in your hand. You're not holding a penny. You're holding a life-changing fortune. This is the kind of coin that makes collectors restless at night, wondering if they'll ever add one to their collection. Its value is climbing higher and higher each year, and experts predict that in the years ahead, this coin's price will only surge, turning it into one of the great legends of American numismatics. So if you ever find one, do not let it go lightly. You could be sitting on the kind of fortune that makes you rich overnight. And let me tell you something important. The number I just revealed is not an exaggeration, not a made-up story. This is the current, absolutely real market price, backed by the auction floors, proven by today's collector demand. The truth is, this coin is nothing less than a treasure, and those who own it know the power they hold. Now, here's a tip for collectors. Always look carefully at wheat pennies from the 50s. Examine the surface, the mint marks, or in this case, the lack of one, and don't ignore coins with unusual toning like gray spotting or subtle changes in luster. Many people overlook them, but those tiny details could be the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a coin worth 6 figures. And in conclusion, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark is not just a piece of American currency, it's a relic of history, a symbol of rarity, and a financial treasure chest for the future. Owning one is like owning a piece of destiny, proof that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest secrets. That's the power of Rare Coin Secrets USA. Every day, we bring you real, faithful, and newly updated truths about coins that others ignore. And this, my friends, is only the beginning, because the next coin on today's list might shock you even more. Next coin, number 2. Now, let's roll the clock back a full decade earlier, to the year 1946. America had just emerged victorious from the Second World War, a time when the nation was rebuilding, families were uniting, and prosperity was returning. Factories that once made weapons were shifting to consumer goods, and the nation's spirit was alive with hope. And in the middle of this historic turning point, the humble Lincoln wheat penny continued its journey through American pockets and purses. But what we're talking about today isn't just any penny from 1946. This is the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it may seem ordinary, but its story is anything but. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally used no mint mark at all. But here's what makes it remarkable. In the wake of the war, the mint faced shortages, changes in materials, and the challenge of transitioning back to peacetime coinage. Every detail on this penny carries the story of that era. On the obverse, you'll once again see the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that had already become legendary by this time. Lincoln's portrait stands as a symbol of strength, leadership, and unity values America clung to in those uncertain post-war years. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears remain, standing tall like silent guardians of history, framing the words 1 cent. Now, let's talk about composition. Unlike the steel cent struck during the war in 1943, this 1946 penny returned to the familiar copper alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. But here's the twist. So many of these coins were heavily used in circulation, carrying the weight of America's recovery, that very few have survived in very fine or higher condition today. And when I say few, I mean shockingly few. This is where rarity comes into play. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions in 1946, but survival rate in very fine condition? That's a different story altogether. Decades of wear, countless hands, and circulation across a rapidly modernizing nation have reduced the numbers drastically. Today, finding a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in such stunning condition is like stumbling across buried treasure in plain sight. What sets this coin apart is its beauty in survival. Even after almost 80 years, the fine details of Lincoln's profile, the sharpness of the wheat stalks, and the natural patina it carries make it a true standout. This is the kind of coin collectors crave, not just because of its age, but because of how gracefully it has endured the passage of time. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for, the part that takes this coin from interesting to life-changing. In today's auction market, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, in very fine condition, is valued at a staggering $153,000. Yes, you heard that right. $153,000 for a single penny. That's not just a price, that's a fortune compressed into copper. A treasure that proves how a tiny piece of history can hold the power of wealth that most people wouldn't believe unless they saw it with their own eyes. And I want to make something very clear: the value I'm telling you is absolutely current. It's not a myth, not a fantasy, but a truth backed by the market. Collectors are fighting tooth and nail at auctions to get their hands on these coins, and the demand is only climbing higher. This coin is not just money, it's a legacy. Owning one is like holding a piece of post-war America, a symbol of strength and rebirth, and a direct connection to the story of a nation. And that's exactly why its market value is rising steadily. Mark my words, the price we see today will only grow tomorrow. So when you find one, guard it with your life, because you are holding more than just a penny. You are holding a treasure chest in your pocket. Now, here's my tip for all serious collectors. Never underestimate post-war wheat pennies. Many people ignore them because they believe they're too common, but the truth is, condition is king. Check carefully for pieces with no mint mark, in very fine or higher grade, and always pay attention to natural toning and detail sharpness. Coins that survived in great condition are the ones that skyrocket in value. And to wrap this up, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a true American treasure. It's history, it's art, it's wealth, and it's proof that the smallest coin can sometimes carry the largest fortune. If you're lucky enough to find one, don't let go. It's your ticket to a world of treasure hunting glory. And this is why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists, to bring you faithful, truthful, and newly updated insights every single day about the hidden treasures of US coins. Because as you've just seen, what looks like an ordinary penny can be the key to extraordinary wealth. Next coin, number 3. All right, treasure seekers, the hunt continues. We've already uncovered 2 rare gems, but the next coin on our journey takes us back to the early 1950s, a period of post-war prosperity, the rise of rock and roll, and the golden glow of American growth. In the middle of it all, one very small coin was struck that today holds a value so extraordinary it can leave you speechless. This is the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark, a coin struck at the Denver Mint, a place that produced millions of coins for everyday commerce. At first glance, this penny might seem like just another copper cent from the 1950s. But don't let your eyes deceive you, because hidden in this coin is a story of rarity, survival, and unimaginable treasure. Let's first look at its design. On the obverse, we see the powerful profile of Abraham Lincoln, created by the master engraver Victor David Brenner. By 1953, Brenner's design had already become iconic, symbolizing strength, leadership, and the enduring vision of one of America's greatest presidents. On the reverse, those 2 graceful wheat stalks rise tall, enclosing the words 1 cent, a reminder of America's roots in hard work and agriculture, a symbol of growth and resilience. Now, let's talk about its composition. This 1953 D wheat penny was struck in the traditional alloy of 95% copper, with a mix of zinc and tin. But the real magic isn't just in what it's made of. It's in how it has survived. Most of the pennies from this period were heavily used, passing through countless hands, exchanged in shops, stacked in jars, tossed into drawers, and forgotten. Very few of them, especially those from Denver, have managed to survive in very fine condition, even after being circulated. And here's where the rarity comes alive. You see, millions may have been minted, but only a fraction remain today with the kind of beauty, sharpness, and fine detail that this 1953 with D coin carries. Its circulated yet very fine state tells a story. It's not just a coin, it's a witness to decades of American life, a survivor that still shines even after nearly 3/4 of a century. That's what makes collectors go wild for it. So why is this coin so highly sought after? It's the perfect combination: age, condition, mint mark, and rarity. The Denver mint mark adds an extra layer of uniqueness because many of these coins were struck with slight variations in luster and detail compared to their Philadelphia counterparts. Collectors chase after these tiny differences with passion, and when a coin like this survives in such fine shape, the demand skyrockets. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: the value. In today's auction market, the 1953 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny in very fine circulated condition is valued at a jaw-dropping $162,000. That's right, $162,000 for a single penny. Imagine that something once worth a single cent is now worth more than most people's yearly income. That's not a coin, that's a treasure chest forged in copper. Let me emphasize this. The number I just gave you is not speculation. It is absolutely current, grounded in the real auction market, and fueled by collector demand. And the best part? The value is climbing. This is the kind of coin that doesn't just sit in your collection. It grows like an investment, turning into a greater treasure with each passing year. If you own one, you don't just own history, you own wealth, security, and bragging rights to one of the rarest finds of the Lincoln Wheat series. Now, for collectors out there, here's a golden tip. When you come across 1950s wheat pennies, never ignore the mint marks. The D for Denver carries its own unique charm and often commands higher prices in the market, especially when paired with condition. Always inspect carefully, look for fine details, and pay attention to how the coin has aged. A circulated coin in a very fine condition can still carry massive value if it has survived with beauty, balance, and originality. And to conclude, the 1953 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just an old coin, it's a survivor, a storyteller, and a life-changing treasure. It proves that even a circulated penny, if preserved in fine condition, can transform into a fortune worth chasing. Holding one of these is like holding a key to both America's history and its wealth. That's the kind of magic we uncover every single day here at Rare Coin Secrets USA. We are faithful, we are truthful, and we bring you the newly updated realities of the coin world Because these treasures are not myths, they are real and they are out there waiting to be found. Next coin number 4. Now, my friends, we move forward to a year that shines brightly in American memory, 1956. A time when the nation was thriving, cars were bigger, music was louder, and optimism filled the air. And in the middle of that vibrant decade, one small coin was struck at the Denver Mint that today holds a value so staggering it turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. This is the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny with the D mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another mid-century penny, the kind you might expect to find rattling around in an old coin jar. But trust me, it is anything but ordinary. Hidden within this little copper disc is a story of rarity, survival, and fortune. Let's step into its design. On the obverse side, we see Abraham Lincoln, captured in Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait. His face stands strong, noble, and unshaken, a reminder of America's endurance through challenges. On the reverse, the classic wheat stalks still frame the denomination 1 cent, a design that collectors love because of its simplicity, elegance, and symbolism. Those wheat ears aren't just decoration, they represent growth, resilience, and prosperity, all values deeply tied to the spirit of America in the 1950s. The composition of this coin is pure mid-century tradition, 95% copper, with the remainder a mixture of zinc and tin. But what makes this particular piece so captivating is not the metal it was struck from, but the journey it has taken. Most 1956 D pennies were used, abused, spent, and forgotten in circulation. The very fact that this coin survived in such a very fine circulated condition, still retaining its sharp details and beautiful look, makes it a miracle of survival. Rarity, as always, is the key to treasure. Yes, the Denver Mint produced millions of wheat pennies that year. But here's the truth, quantity does not guarantee survival. Over decades, coins get worn down, lost, or destroyed. Only a handful manage to stay intact in the kind of condition collectors crave today. And when we're talking about the 1956 D, finding one in beautiful circulated yet very fine state is like stumbling upon a chest of gold hidden in plain sight. And now, let's come to the part that truly shakes the world of collectors, the value. In today's auction market, the 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat penny in very fine circulated condition carries an astonishing value of $158,000. Yes, you heard that right. $158,000 for a coin that once passed from hand to hand as just a single cent. Imagine that, a penny transformed into a fortune, a piece of copper turned into a priceless treasure. And let me assure you, this is not a story of the past, this is the reality of today. That number is absolutely current, pulled from the fire of real auctions where collectors fight for the right to own such a rarity. This coin isn't just valuable, it's powerful. It grows in worth with every passing year, becoming more desirable as collectors realize how few are left in conditions like this. What makes this coin even more special is the D mint mark. Coins from Denver have always had their own charm, and collectors recognize the subtle differences in strike and preservation. The 1956 with D in very fine condition is one of those rare instances where the mint mark elevates the coin from ordinary to extraordinary, and where collectors are willing to pay fortunes to secure it. Now, here's a vital tip for every coin hunter and collector. Pay very close attention to pennies from the 1950s. Too many people dismiss them as common, but condition, mint mark, and survival rate are everything. Always check the reverse wheat details, examine the luster, and confirm the presence of the mint mark. These details can be the difference between a 1-cent coin and a 6-figure treasure. And here's my conclusion. The 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a relic of history, a symbol of resilience, and a treasure chest disguised as currency. Owning one is like holding both the story of America and the wealth of a king in the palm of your hand. This is why Rare Coin Secrets USA is here. To open your eyes to the truth, to bring you faithful, newly updated insights every single day, and to remind you that treasures don't just exist in legends. They exist right here in coins like this, waiting for someone like you to discover them. Next coin, number 5. Now, treasure seekers, prepare yourselves, because our hunt brings us to the year 1957. America was riding high in an age of confidence. Rock and roll shook the airwaves, chrome-filled cars ruled the roads, and the country was just 1 year away from saying goodbye to the wheat penny design forever. And in that final stretch of the wheat penny era, one coin slipped quietly into history, only to rise decades later as a priceless treasure. That coin is the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the Denver Mint D mark. To the casual eye, it may look like just another cent from the 1950s, but this coin is far more than that. It's a rare, powerful survivor, with a story etched into its surface that collectors cannot resist. Let's dive into the design first. The obverse side once again carries the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. By 1957, Brenner's design had become a symbol of American strength and character. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the final years of the beloved wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, a design that was about to be retired forever, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. That means the 1957 wheat penny sits right at the edge of history, part of the last breaths of an iconic series that collectors chase relentlessly. Now, the composition is classic, 95% copper, blended with zinc and tin. But here's where it gets fascinating. This particular coin is known for its distinctive black spots scattered across the surface. Some people see flaws. Collectors see individuality. Those spots tell a story of toning, oxidation, and the unique way this coin has aged. They give it character, a fingerprint unlike any other coin. And when rarity meets uniqueness, value explodes. Millions of pennies were struck at the Denver Mint in 1957. But let's be real. How many survived circulation in fine condition, still holding their beauty and sharpness? The answer, very few. Most were worn down to nothing, tossed aside, or lost forever. That's what makes a surviving 1957 with D with these features so electrifying to collectors today. It's not about the number struck. It's about the number that endured, and this one has endured magnificently. And now, the revelation that turns this coin from curiosity into treasure. In today's thriving auction markets, the 1957 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny in fine condition, with its beautiful black spotted look, is valued at $155,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $155,000 for a coin that once lived its life as a humble cent. This isn't a dream. This isn't fiction. This is the reality of the collector's world today. That value is absolutely current, and it proves one thing. The treasures of numismatics are not just legends, they are real, and they're changing lives. Imagine holding this coin in your hand. You're not holding 1 cent, you're holding a fortune, a treasure chest, a key to financial transformation. And here's the beauty of it. This value is not frozen. It's growing. With every passing year, as more collectors realize the rarity of these coins, the demand surges. Prices rise, auctions get more intense, and the few remaining examples are locked away in collections, never to see daylight again. The 1957 with D Wheat Penny is not just a coin, it's an investment, a growing treasure that gains more power with time. Here's my tip to you, the collectors and treasure hunters. Never ignore coins with toning or spotting. Beginners often toss them aside, but seasoned experts know that these natural features make a coin unique and desirable. Always check your wheat pennies carefully. The Denver Mint D mark, combined with sharp condition and natural uniqueness, can transform a simple penny into a six-figure treasure overnight. So let's close this chapter with one powerful truth. The 1957 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just an old coin. It's history. It's art. It's wealth. It's living proof that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. And if you're lucky enough to find one, you won't just be holding a coin, you'll be holding destiny itself. And that's why Rare Coin Secrets USA brings you these truths faithful, fresh, and newly updated every single day. Because in the world of coins, myths don't make you rich. But reality can make you a fortune. Next, coin number 6. We've uncovered rare survivors, priceless pennies, and treasures hiding in plain sight. But the coin I'm about to reveal takes us back to one of the most dramatic turning points in American history. This is a coin that was born in the shadow of war, a coin that carries with it not just value, but the spirit of resilience, survival, and greatness. I'm talking about the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. Let's go back to that year, 1944. The world was in turmoil. World War II was raging across Europe and the Pacific. American soldiers were storming the beaches of Normandy, Factories were working day and night, and the entire nation was united under the weight of history. During this time, every resource was precious, every ounce of metal counted, and the U.S. Mint was adapting to the needs of a world at war. This is where the 1944 wheat penny becomes something extraordinary. After striking steel cents in 1943 to save copper for the war effort, the mint returned to copper coinage in 1944. But these weren't just ordinary coins. They were struck from recycled shell casings from the battlefield, melted down and transformed into currency. Imagine that. The very metal used in the fight for freedom was reborn as the humble Lincoln cent. Every single 1944 penny is a piece of war history. The obverse once again carries Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a man who himself guided the nation through war and hardship. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, standing tall as symbols of resilience, strength, and the promise of a better tomorrow. This design has always resonated with collectors, but when paired with the historical weight of 1944, it becomes something even greater. Now, let's talk about condition. The coin we're celebrating today is not just any 1944 cent, it's an extra fine survivor. Its surfaces are still sharp, its details still bold, its beauty still undeniable. Think about that. Through decades of circulation, through generations of use, this coin survived and held on to its power. That makes it rare. That makes it treasure. And rarity is the heartbeat of value. Yes, millions were minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark, but almost all of them were lost to wear, destroyed, or simply vanished into obscurity. Finding one in extra fine condition today is like pulling a sparkling diamond from the dirt. Collectors crave them. Auction houses chase them. And when one appears, bidding wars erupt. So here it is, the revelation you've been waiting for. In today's auction market, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, in extra fine condition, is valued at an astounding $172,000. Yes, $172,000 for a single copper cent. Think about that for a moment. What was once the simplest of coins is now a fortune that could change your life overnight. And let me make this crystal clear, this is not a myth, not an exaggeration, not a hopeful guess. This is absolutely current, grounded in today's real collector market. These coins are being fought over right now, their values climbing higher and higher with each passing year. To own one is to own a piece of America's greatest generation, forged from the fires of war, preserved through time, and transformed into treasure. Here's my tip for collectors. Always pay attention to the 1944 wheat pennies. Look for those without a mint mark, check the condition carefully, and never dismiss them. Even the smallest imperfections in detail can mean the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. And when you find one in extra fine or better, you're not just finding a coin, you're uncovering a fortune. And so, to conclude this incredible journey, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is not just a coin. It is history in your hand, a relic of sacrifice and survival, and a treasure of staggering wealth. Owning one is like holding a piece of America's victory and destiny together in the palm of your hand. This is why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists. We bring you the truth, the faithful and newly updated treasures that others ignore. Because the world of coins isn't just about money, it's about mystery, history, and the power of discovery. And as you've seen today, the smallest coin can hold the greatest treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this treasure hunt into the world of rare, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay updated with the most valuable coins in today's market. Your support helps us grow and bring you more hidden coin secrets.